Oh, hello, everybody. Our very special guest is here already. And we'll wait a few minutes to get started, but I can probably invite him to the stage right now. Stop being rude.
Yay.
Yay. Falconelli, hello. Hero. A few regulars. Damn, I like the hair, dude. What's going on? You getting ready? New job? New hairdos?
No, I was growing it out, and it officially got longer than my wife's. She got mad at me. My face looked fat, so I didn't cut my hair, so I shaved the sides, but I kept the bun.
Damn. She was very honest, I guess.
Yeah, if anything, my wife is.
Just wait till like 8:05 if you want. See who trickles in.
Okay.
Is it worth going for the burp certified cert? What are you trying to do? You tell me.
You're going for either a junior role or a web app pen tester? I'd say so. Or if you just really love.
I can tell you that I started the Portswigger Academy, and I got so damn bored so fast that I ended up switching to the Hack the Box Academy bug bounty path, and I feel like overall that material is better. Like, you probably still want to learn burp really well, because most big companies use the shit out of burp, but to like really understand the bones of everything, I would recommend the Hack the Box bug bounty path before that.
I agree with that. With that completely.
But Portswigger is good, but it's like you jump right into SQL injections and burp, and if you're a beginner, you don't even really know what a SQL injection is or like how it works, you know, like on the server side. So it depends on where you're at and what you want to do. And the Hack the Box Academy has a great path on web proxies that does burp and zap, so you can learn both of those. Probably better than you'll learn on Try Hack Me.
You still use your WG account for the discount for Hack the Box Academy?
Yes. Yes, I do. But I don't have to, because work is going to pay for the CBBH and CWEE. But like, I'm already subscribed, and I don't like feel like I need to make work pay more.
That's a lot of something that a lot of people don't realize is that with WGU, you get to keep your email account.
Yeah.
And it's a student email account, so use it for the discount. It's like, what, $8 a month with the discount? Otherwise, it's like 20.
Yeah, it's about I want to say it's like 18 or 16 or 18 without it might be 18 without the discount. So that's pretty good. And I get all the TCM certifications. I still get like the 20% off, and probably a bunch of other stuff.
I send them my DD214, my certification.
Yeah. Yes, it is the final PNPT study group. It is a little sad because I've been doing this since I don't remember exactly when I started. It might have been like October or late September for the PJPT.
Are you gonna pass it on to somebody else who is on the path, or you gonna keep doing it?
No, I'm not gonna keep doing the PNPT study group. I'm probably gonna start doing like web app streaming once a week or maybe like every 2 weeks. I might start playing with Twitch, but I don't know if anybody wants to do the PNPT study group. If somebody wants to pick it up, they're more than welcome to. Hero, I wasn't into I wasn't into web app as much as I thought until I got an opportunity to apply for a web app pen testing job, and I ended up getting the job. And it is still fun, and it's pretty damn necessary. Yeah, definitely hard to say no to a pen testing gig when a lot of people struggle really hard to get there.
Like me?
Hopefully your struggle will be ending.
Hopefully.
What time is it? That's 8:07. We can roll if you want. Thank
All right.
you.
So I've had some life stuff happen, so I don't have anything super prepared. But I did have some stuff. I was gonna make a PowerPoint presentation. PowerPoint. So basically, we're here because I'm going to talk to you guys about writing a report for the PNPT, PJPT in general, and I'm also going to do a brief overview of like debrief and things like that. So as I'm talking, if you guys have questions, feel free to ask them. I'll try to keep an eye on the chat. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to drop a link in here for the TCM's GitHub. I'm going to share screen. So for these tests, especially the PJPT and PNPT, I would highly recommend using their template that you can find on their GitHub. Why reinvent the wheel? They already have it there for you. So the one we're going to look at is the TCMS Demo Corp findings report. Crazy. Hold on, my dogs are yelling. Sorry about that. All right, so we're going to look at this report. I'm going to go over what's in it, what I feel like you guys should change. For me, I changed this to my logo that you guys see in Discord. Of course, I did change Demo Corp, and I'll show you an easy way to do that for anything that's a Demo Corp. You're going to want to change the date anywhere you see it. I have an easy way to update the table of contents for you. All right, so let's get into the meat of it. So confidentiality statement. The confidentiality statement is just, hey, this document is for me and TCM. So you're going to want to put that. So property exclusive of your name and TCM security. Whatever, it's basically just a CYA that it's only for you and the company that hired you to do a pen test. Again, this is another CYA disclaimer. These are all things that have to be in a report. So again, this is perfectly legitimate for the test and for many penetration tests. I think I used this for hiring CTF, and I basically just copied it and changed a few things. Contact information. You will get some contact information in your rules of engagement when you start the test. Fill that out with these. And then we're going to get an assessment overview. Again, just dates you have to change. And then assessment components. So this is going to change depending on if you're doing the PJPT or the PNPT. With the PJPT, it's strictly an internal, so you can just leave it like this. And we're gonna, you're gonna put what basic attacks you were planning on using, and any of the attacks that you after that. Also, if you're doing the PNPT, you're going to go ahead and add external pen test in there so that information. Again, we're not changing this at all. This is the CVSS score ranges and their definitions. This is just information that needs to be in there. Again, we're not changing risk factors. Okay, scope, we're going to change. If you have just an internal pen test with the PJPT, you're going to put that IP range. Whatever is in you'll get all this information, the rules of engagement that you get once upon starting the test. And then for the PNPT, you're going to have an internal and an external. So you're going to put that there. Also, with an external, they may have websites that you're allowed to test. So you'll put that in there with the website name. And then scope exclusions. Again, we're not doing denial services, social engineering. Everything in the scope is going to come from the rules of engagement. And then client allowance. So with whether or not they give you a Dropbox, if they gave you VPN network access, whatever, it's going to go in here. All right. And then we're moving on to the executive summary. So the executive summary, think about it as you're talking to somebody who has no idea about pen tests, about technology. You're talking to the C-suite of people like CEO, CFO, those kinds of people. They don't really know about technology. They just got told, hey, we need to have a pen test done for compliance. So the way you're going to write this is towards them. Very simple languages. You're not going to go very deep into the technical part of it. We'll do that later in the report. Again, with this demo report, the only thing we're really going to have to change is the dates, and then the time frame for the report and how long we had to do the. All right, so testing summary. Again, this is very high level. You're going to take what you found and you're going to put it into layman's terms. Again, towards C-suite kinds of people. You're going to explain what you did, how you got there. So for tester notes and recommendations, again, this is high level. But here we're going to give recommendations on how to fix some of the highest level findings that we had. Like, for example, in this one, we had MS 17.0. That's bad. How do you fix it? You update with. And key strengths and weaknesses. It's always good to give a compliment sandwich. These are the things you did bad, these are the things you did good, and always be looking for something they did good so you can add it in here. All right, and this is where we're going to get into the real meat of it. So under the vulnerabilities, we're going to everything that we find, we're going to put in like in a table like this. Again, if you're using this report, you can just delete what's in there, add what you need. And then for the PNPT specifically, I had two of these tables. One was EPT for external pen test. One was IPT for internal pen test, and I separated my results out on each one of those tables. And it's really easy just to copy and paste these tables. And then we're going to get into technical find. Oh, wait, before I get up to that, how do we find what the CVSS score is for some of them? And When I took the test, I had no idea. I just knew what CVSS was at a very high level. And so what I did was I Googled it. If we look at the very first thing, uh, so Tenable has a Kerber roasting, and it tells us what the score is and the risk factor. That is literally how I built my table in my report. Is I just Googled each thing. There's some vulnerabilities that you'll find that you're going to have to dive a little deeper than the first page. I'm going to have to get. I still am learning how to actually how that all works. So once I get that, maybe I'll do a course on VSS. Yeah, like Hero said, they just totally winged it. It's there's calculators for it, but even that I didn't understand. You can't just put in Kerber roasting and it tells you what it is. Yeah, it's easier just to Google it with CVSS at the end, and you'll eventually find what the rating. Um, and then technical findings. This is where you can go a little deeper. Uh, this is for people that have a technical mindset, and you just break down each attack that you had that led to a compromise, or if you already had a compromise, another vulnerability you found, and you just break it down by description. Again, super easy. Likelihood that'll happen. This comes from your CVSS when you look for it. The systems that it is on. So if you have a specific IP address that vulnerability was on and no other system, that's where you put that, the IP address or the system name. Tools used, again, simple, easy tools, references, and you can find these in the NIST. When you just, again, same as CVSS, just Google the finding with NIST and it'll give you these. Evidence as just a couple screenshots. These are blurred out. I will highly recommend you not blur any of your screenshots out for the test. This is why I had to do it more than twice, because I messed up on my first attempt of the PNPT, took it a second time, captured the domain admin, submitted my report with all my screenshots obfuscated like this, and I didn't have enough time, or since I submitted my report already, I couldn't go back, and when I was taking my screenshots, I was obscuring them with flame shot, so I couldn't obfuscate them. So I had to go back. I had to get it by another attempt, and it took me like 10 minutes to get all the screenshots I needed. There are some things, Hero, that are blurred in a real report, like usernames in the report, and then you give them a attachment, like an Excel document with all the usernames that you and passwords you found. There in a report, it's generally more than just the people who need to see that kind of stuff will see it. um, so again, just same thing over and over and over again. All of your stuff. Hopefully, you took really good notes. Um, all the way down, and then I'm gonna here all the way to the bottom to something I don't like that I'm going to recommend doing a different way. All right. So the last finding that they have is the steps to domain admin, and I like to think of this more as like a story on how you got to domain admin with all the steps required and the commands that would be required for anybody who's technical to sit down at a computer and complete the same steps you do. So the first thing I'm going to show you that helped me is if you go up here into file and you get an add-in. It's called Easy Code Formatter. Going to install it right now. And this will let you format codes and code blocks so that the screenshots that you give are representative of the code. So anybody doing, verifying your work can just copy the code. So say we did an MAPS, of course, it's going to auto capitalize. All right. So we're going to highlight and we're going to format it as code. And it just gives us a little code block. And then I would place my screenshot there. So the way I would start would be, of course, it would be nerd. It in map scan against target. So, and then you give them the code, and screenshot uh, of the output of your command. Or if it's an in-map scan, I would just again throw it in a code block. That really helped me, I think, because it helped me separate my commands. And then when I had to go through again, like I said, I just flew through it because I was writing my report. I had already written a report, and I could just copy and paste the commands I had. It's a great tool, and I'll show you another way too. All right, so as you know, you're using this report and you're editing it, you're going to mess up the table content. Table contents is not going to be the same. Yeah, I do an entire narrative. Think of it as like I did it as an entire narrative. Think of it as like, when you're doing a hack the box room or something, and you look up a write up. That's basically my thought process on steps to admin. I want a more narrative attack, but it's only the steps that got me forward. So if I, ran an mmap scan, or not, if I ran, crack map exec against something, but didn't get anything back from it, uh, I didn't put that in my report. But if I did, it got me somewhere. All right, and then show you this real quick. So say we're editing stuff, report for the PNPT, and we didn't have insufficient critical element R. So we're highlight this, change it to type. Say we found a machine within Turtle Blue that got us. We could literally just go up here, should be able to go to here and just click update table. And it didn't see anything that updated. But if you change one of the headings, generally it'll see the change and change it for you. So you don't have to go back and edit the table of contents. I think for the findings, you have to put any of the major headings. So let's try that again. Type in finding. Go back to the top, or click in it, update table. It is not doing it, but it should work. There's something wrong. I will look into it. And that's pretty much the report. Use Google a lot. I highly, highly recommend you don't try to reinvent the wheel and you write your own report template. Just use the one that's there. It makes makes your life very, very easy. And then as far as the debriefing, it's only 15 minutes. If you want to create a PowerPoint, you can do that. I literally just pulled up my report, and the major takeaway that I got from reading all of the posts in the Discord and talking to people was they want you to be able to talk to about the vulnerability as well as give the remediation away during the debrief. So change it back. So during the debrief, I literally was technical findings. Uh, the first finding I had was insufficient LMNR configuration. I used responder to poison the LMNR traffic, and from that, I was able to crack 2 of the uh, credentials found using Hashcat, as you can see in the screenshot. The remediation would be to disable multicast name resolution via GPO. Next finding, and just keep going through that and just go off of the, what is in your report. Yep. And then again, like Falconelli said, uh, people are going to check your work when giving away when you're giving your reports in real life. You're not going to be out there all by yourself. I thought this was going to be longer, but is there any questions for the report? Like, I honestly was probably the easiest part of the entire thing was writing my report. By that time, you've already done the hard work. It is a lot of writing. It is a lot of writing, and it's a lot of formatting, but they give you plenty of time. The first on the PJPT, it's 2 days to do the exam and 2 days to write the report. I had the domain admin in less than a day and was able to use 3 days to write the report. And from that, I was able to do that narrative more and then check my work. And make sure that everything I included was how I got to the admin. Yeah, the PJPT is shorter than the PNPT because the PJPT is just an internal pen test. The PNPT is external and internal. Do not obfuscate the report or its findings because if they can't tell what you got from your obfuscation, you'll have to do the exam again and rewrite the report. So, like I was saying, I was using Flame Shot, and as I was taking the screenshots, I would obfuscate, usernames and things like that, like I would be in a normal pen test. But in the end, I submitted my report, and they're like, "Hey, we need it not obfuscated, and you can't de-obfuscate things that you've obfuscated with Flame Shot." So I had to buy another exam. Just from my experience on that, just leave it plain. Yeah, the major things I would say is use that easy code formatter from the add-ins for code snippets, and don't obfuscate stuff, and don't reinvent the wheel and try to use your own template. Just use the one they give you. It is a lot of writing, and you should break it down into two kind of major steps. The non-technical portion where you're just, this is what I did. These are the problems you should fix. Then the more technical findings section where it's more technical, where you give them resources on how to fix it. And then the very end, the steps to domain admin. I wrote it as more of a narrative than a steps like this. More like a write up for a Hack the box. And yeah, it was great. I flew through the debrief did freak me out, like, because it's one of the only ones that I've ever done. But you get 15 minutes to do it, and I think I clocked in at 4.5 by the time I was done. So it's not that hard. People make it a lot harder than it is. Like Kira said, if you follow the steps of taking good notes as you go, by the time you get to, a lot of people actually write the report as they go too. That's another way to do it. Yep, you just tell them what you found and how to fix it. Another thing you can do is that, like, I use Obsidian. If you wrote your your steps out here, you can export it to PDF. And if I find that, bring it over here. Why is it? Let me try this. Export. You can have your narrative like so, and it'll have the code blocks in it. Pay for. So your code blocks will be here, and then you can just merge the two documents together with Adobe Pro. I don't even think you need Adobe Pro for it. I think you can do it with Adobe. Yep, what Ping said, don't drink too much coffee. Drink just enough. What another thing, I've said this before. My wife brought me snacks, made sure I kept eating. Like, she brought me like a personal charcuterie board. She brought me water a couple times. She pulled me away from the computer to go play with my dog because my dog was annoying me. So it's not as hard as everybody thinks it out, especially this part. Once you get to the report, you've already done the hard part, and that's something I can't stress to you guys enough. You've made it to this point. It's yours to fail at that. If you are using the template, you'll find your life much easier, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Use Google. If you don't understand uh, what some of uh, the impacts of some of the uh, vulnerabilities you find or the steps you took to get to where you're going, Google it. Put CVSS in the Google search. Use your Google skills to get what you need. That one website that I had brought up is great for that. The Tenable.com. I think it's what Nessus is through, right? Yeah. And it has a lot of the CVS and all the descriptions and everything you're going to need to know. But beyond that, you guys have any questions about the PJPT, PNPT, PCRP? I have them all. Can't hear you, Beef.
I said LMNOP. Do you have that one?
I do. I got it in kindergarten.
Fola asked a question way back. I'm not going to scroll to find the exact wording, but was asking if the PNPT is necessary. It's not. Nothing is necessary for anything. So,
This is true.
you might want to expand on that question a little bit. But if you're looking for a job, look at job descriptions. The OSCP is going to be on way more job descriptions than the PNPT. But like,
I have yet to personally see a job that I could apply for that had PNP.
Yeah, I've seen a few PNPT, I've seen a few CPTS, but like if you want to bang out a good resume, OSCP would probably be the way to go. But the PNPT can be a good talking point. Yes, like Hero said, definitely it's great learning. It's a great way to test yourself. But that's like asking if a degree is necessary or if a certain cert is necessary. Like it really depends on the job description or the requirements for like federal jobs. Security Plus or CYSA Plus is huge. You have to have a CYSA Plus to even be able to work the job that I work. So job descriptions are your friend, I guess, for that.
Yeah. And as you know, the PNPT's out longer and more of the old guard is retiring, and the people who have gotten the PNPT know its value getting into those managerial roles. I think it'll shift eventually. That PNPT will be on more job descriptions. But like Hero said, it's more of a learning cert than a get you a job cert.
Skip the PNPT after I do PJPT and PJPT and go for going to skip OSCP for OWSA. I want to focus on learning. Yeah, so like in that case, just do what you like. And networking is probably more important than anything. Because it's hard to get your resume seen against 1,000 other people. It's really more about who you know.
And for example, I recently applied for a job and I got some interviews for it, but it was one of the LinkedIn jobs that you see, and it's a smaller company and they had to close the job after they got over 200 applicants in less than an hour.
Yeah.
So you're in competition with a lot of people. And it unfortunately gets, that old who you know, not what you know all the time.
Ping says GoPro mentioned the PNPT in their job description at one time. Yeah, I've seen the PNPT on even a few government jobs, so it's definitely catching on.
Yeah, it'll get there. Like when the OSCP first came out, it wasn't on all the job descriptions. Certified ethical hacker was, and now everybody thinks certified ethical hacker is a dumb cert, and no one should get it.
I don't think I would waste my time.
Neither would I.
Any other questions, dudes?
I know I went over it super fast. I meant it to be longer, but I've had some life events that has popped up that kept me from preparing as well as I wanted to.
I think it was great.
It really is that easy. It's your cooldown period after you've already done the hard part, and just tell a story.
I'm going to share a link to the group notebook real quick, if it will ever load. And then I will, after this episode, I will update the reporting portion of it. And I will put a link to each YouTube video in the playlist with each section of the notebook. So everything should be nice and easy to find.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Ping works at TCM now. I forgot about that.
Pig's one of the cool kids now.
Congratulations on that, by the way, Ping. Let me ask you this. Let me ask Ping a question here. Are you involved in the debriefing and that kind of stuff, or are you strictly just help desk right now? Oh, nice.
So doing it all.
PJPT, you have an entire playlist on that on the YouTube, right, Beef?
I do, and my biggest recommendation would be to do the PEH course, take really good notes, and then when you think you have really good notes, watch. I'm not going to tell you exactly what parts to watch. Remember, it's an Active Directory exam. Watch the videos over again, fix all the things you're missing in your notes, and honestly, you should be good to go.
One great tip that I find with the PJPT, and a lot of people don't think about it, it's an open book test.
Yeah.
You can have the videos pulled up and playing
Yep.
while you're doing it. No one's going to tell you did something wrong because it's allowed.
Nope.
So if you get stuck on how to do a specific attack or following the path that you think you should follow,
Yep.
and it's in the PEH, just pull the videos up and watch them while you're doing it.
But if you want to use that notebook that I just posted a little while back in the comments there, if you want to use that notebook and just use the internal portion of it for the PJPT to kind of like help take some of the pressure off your methodology and what steps to follow with where you're at, you use that as a little bit of a guide. The videos are pretty much in order in the course also, but like, you know, sometimes it's hard for people to put stuff together like that when they're overwhelmed with a bunch of information.
We should switch this to the PJWT. You go from PJPT, PNPT, and then PJWT. That's what you should do, Beef.
I probably could pass the PJWT right now if I did it, but
Yeah, analysis paralysis is a big thing. I will say they will not throw anything at you in either the PJPT or the PNPT that is not covered somewhere in their course.
yeah.
That is a big thing that OffSec does. They teach you the theory behind something, but then throw you something completely different, and then you're supposed to basically use your Google theory on how to get through a problem.
Try harder, isn't that what they say?
Yeah. Whereas everything everything you need for both exams is in the course material. They give you everything you need to pass. That's one thing I really like. That's why I like TCM security certification so much, because everything they give you is what you were tested on and not something that you should have thought about.
Yeah, when you have like 24 hours to complete it.
Right?
Now you got to do R&D.
Any other questions? Like I said, I was one of the first 50 to get the PJPT. I have the PNPT, and I'm PCRP certified. So I'm here until 6 or until everybody leaves to answer questions. Mind you, I'm not a senior cybersecurity analyst like Beef here.
Well, you know.
But I can run circles around him in a CTF.
You can't be everything. I think we might have tied on the last hiring CTF we both took. I think we might have tied.
The hiring one, that one, yeah. Yeah. But the meta CTF.
The meta CTF, you definitely got me.
Yes. Thank you, Ping. If you go into the PNPT, that's so story time. I took it 3 times for the PNPT. Once because I treated it like a CTF and got stuck. Once because I obfuscated my screenshots and then I passed it on the 3rd try. If you go into it thinking like a CTF, you're gonna get stuck, guaranteed. Treat it like an actual pen test. Use the methodology you're taught. What's the difference between a CTF and a penetration test? So, like Ping was saying, with a CTF, you'll find flags to know you're going the right direction. You'll find hints. They'll be very obvious sometimes. CTF, the direction you're supposed to go. As with a penetration test, you don't have any flags that say yes, you're going the right way. You don't have any glaringly obvious thing that will get you there. It is all about can you use, it's more about the methodology and the thinking. Like when I go after a hack the box, I literally just beat my head against it without thinking very much. Whereas where pen tests PNPT, JPT, it's more methodical. Yeah, creds and sensitive info versus like say, you find some credentials somewhere. Well, in a CTF, you're done. That would be the flag. In a pen test, you have to think, what can I do with these creds? Can I pass them around the network? Can I use it to log into a different machine? Can I, have domain admin credentials? What can I do with what I have? Yeah, can you work yourself out of a non-working tool? I made a tool work on the PNP. It shouldn't have worked. No, PJ. Shouldn't have worked, but I made it work.
Oops.
Because I spent probably 2 hours trying to get it to work when I didn't need to. I'm not going to say which tool it is. And I'm, if you guys that are in here want some help, more personalized help studying for it, my Discord's always open for you guys. As long as you're in the Foxhunt Discord, I will answer questions for you guys. I'm sure Beef is the same way.
Oh yeah.
If I'm allowed to. I will not compromise the test.
I get people do the wildest shit, try to send me their reports, try to hit me up while they're on a test.
Oh. No one even I tried to start the PJPT study session after I passed it. No one came to it. You start it, everybody shows up. It's your face. You have a better beard.
Right place, right time, I guess. Did they try to pay you to take the test for them? No, nobody's ever done that. That would be a new one.
I will, as someone who's actively trying to become a pen tester, it is very competitive.
Very competitive. That's why I said it's more about who you know than what certs you have.
Yep. Only one company I've interviewed for in the past 6 months was without having someone I knew there.
Yeah.
Nepotism. What do you mean, Ping? Oh, relatives hiring relatives. Well, I don't have any relatives that work in the cybersecurity field, so I'm well on that.
Once you're in, it becomes a little bit easier, though.
Yeah, I'm sure. It was just like the first IT job I ever got. Once I got my foot in the door, it was super easy to get my next. And I've worked my way up and down the ladder several times. I've been the help desk. I've been tier 2, tier 3. I've been hiring manager, who's also the firing manager.
Luckily, I didn't have to work in IT.
You're a special case.
I
So
I get that for sure.
uh, I use I use you as an example a lot in some of the mentoring sessions I do. There's people, "Oh, I want to go straight into being a pen tester. Okay, it's possible,
Yeah,
but it's very, very hard.
yeah. I try to tell people what I did, and some of them think there's not enough time in a day, and they're right.
That's why you have night.
It was basically work from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., come home, study till 1 a.m., do it all over again every single day.
It's gotten to a point in my current position where I've got a lot of things automated. So I have free time during the workday to study and do stuff.
Yeah, I don't have any free time to study during the day. I don't do any of that.
Good, good from when I was in the army. Sleep is a crutch.
Yeah.
You can survive on water and hate.
The good thing is you don't have to do something like that for too long. Like usually you can work your ass off for even a couple years sounds like a long time, but if you work your ass off for a couple years, you can change your life for the rest of your life. So when you think
So
about
when
it,
you
it's really not that bad.
but you started with no high school diploma, no college degree,
Yep.
no certifications in anything. You just
Nothing.
decided I want to do this.
Yep.
Where'd you get your high school diploma from?
I got a GED like real quick in like a month. I just needed the like I could pass everything else in the GED without even studying, but the math I had to. You don't use that stuff in your day to day life, so I took about a month to like brush up on math, and that was just from YouTube videos. Like I didn't even want to go anywhere or
Khan
pay
Academy?
somebody. I forget I honestly forget. So I feel like I used a bunch of different ones, but I just like Googled GED math playlists, and they had like they do the question. You can pause the video, like work through the answer, and then unpause the video, and like they show you the methodology behind it and everything. And I just did a bunch of those.
You learned that a squared plus b squared equals c squared?
That was probably the beginnings of it, and a bunch of it I don't even remember at this point. It's like get it to pass the test and then forget about it. And then I had to do, what did I have to do for WGU? Is it just college algebra and probability and statistics? I think those
You
are the
have
only.
discrete math too.
I didn't have to for the cyber degree.
I did.
You had to do discrete math for the network. What is it? Network security engineering.
Network operations.
Yeah, you got to do discrete math for that one for sure.
I still don't understand discrete math.
I don't think I want to. You know what I'll do while we're waiting for questions, if there is any, I will. I'll post a link to the YouTube playlist just to any newcomers. If I can find my own playlist.
It's so Brandon with associate still don't understand networking. Yeah, I have my bachelor's degrees in networking. I work in networking all the time, and most of the time I don't understand it still. I still have to Google it all the time. Like I know the basics and how stuff should work.
I still Google like fairly basic bash commands from time to time.
I pay for the $20 for ChatGPT to help me out.
ChatGPT is legit. If you need a quick little script or something.
Yeah. So I coach. It's called Cyber Patriot. It's a high school cyber team kind of thing where it's about hardening systems and using ChatGPT and a little bit of testing and some stuff. I got my kids to write scripts that do all of the basic things that are always wrong in the images they give us, like wrong users are in there, passwords don't complexity requirements. So on my GitHub, there's actually like the scripts that they wrote, and you throw them into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT just cleaned them up a little bit. But they did it mostly by themselves. I was really proud of them.
Yeah, I will say for making scripts with ChatGPT, you got to know enough to be able to fix it.
Yeah, it is very, very um, confident, even though it's wrong.
It'll get you 95% of the way there most of the time.
Like Brandon was saying, he Googled Cisco commands. We have some Cisco routers, and for a while we had to switch VLANs every day, and we tried to automate it. And Cisco ChatGPT was like, "Yeah, this Cisco command will do it," and then it didn't work. And we're like, "Hey, it's not working. We have these switches. Yeah, it changed this. Still didn't work. Went back to it. Oh, it doesn't work on that model. Well, I gave you the model of switch, and you told me it should work." All right, Falconelli.
Later, Falconelli.
That happens all the time.
IT director does not surprise me. We all know nothing. We're just trying to make it.
My IT director is doesn't know anything about IT. He's former principal who became a assistant superintendent and is in charge of curriculum and technology.
Fola, let me. I will give you the PJPT playlist too, but shit. Honestly, if you just watch from the PNPT playlist, if you watch the internal portion of it, the reporting portion of it today, and maybe like one of the two people that did episodes on like, their experience with the exam and their methodology, like you probably be good to go with that and the course material. But I will post the PJPT playlist also. The PJPT was kind of like the first time I had ever done something like this, and it was less organized, but it was a lot of fun. We did boxes.
My favorite kind of pen test is the only one I get to do is anyone I get to. So I work for a school district. We have Windows environment, and I do internal pen tests on my own environment all the time. I actually don't have Windows 12. When I first got this job 2 years ago, they were on 2000 server 2008, I want to say, and I freaked out. And now we're on 2008 R2. Yep, and now we're fully up to date. I freaked out. I think most of them were 2008 R2. There was like one or two that were 2012. They were also paying for licenses for Azure for Microsoft licensing, and they weren't using. Which is really cool in like businesses, especially school, like the education licenses. For every teacher license we buy, we get like 6 student licenses, which are exactly. So they're spending all this money for licensed windows, not using all. They weren't using. It was fun. Still fun to this day. Mm-hmm. Sure do. Like our Google license, every for tattoos. I have a lot of them.
There's some he can't show you though.
Yeah. So this is a cross with angel wings around it. Stained glass window. Clock. Clock over here. This will all be filled in. This is a cross made up of bones with demon rings around it. Skull cave. Bird back here somewhere. There. And then the tree of death.
Rifle serial number?
Been 10 years. I have one in here. I plan on going to DEF CON. If some life things work out the way they are, my wife and I both there.
DEF CON is possible for me. It's more likely I'm going to Wild West Hacking Fest.
I think I'm going to both DEF CON and
Some life things work out for me also. I'll be going to DEF CON.
I'm real upset about Hackerspace Con still.
So,
It's two of my favorite things. Cybersecurity and space. I think there was even a Falcon 9 launch.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a ticket to go.
You should go to DEF CON, Ping. If you go, Ping, I'm going. Throw that out there.
We can't all go. That'd be way too many beards in one place.
But the combined epicness of our beards.
Ping's got a pretty sweet beard. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've seen it.
He's probably longer than mine, actually. Maybe. Unless he cut it.
I have this problem where it doesn't grow past about here. It just goes out.
That's kind of cool, though. Fro beard.
Very wired. Very wired. My wife.
This is, I want to say I'm probably, with this length right here, 9 months maybe.
Not. Trim it. Do nothing. Just let it go.
Oh, I'm not cutting it again.
That's why I think it's what Boba Fett said. It's really good to have somebody who likes cybersecurity working on the team in like a red team kind of environment, but not because they noticed those kinds of things. They're like, we should fix because they have that attacker mindset.
Yeah. I can say I work for a government organization. I won't say which one, but it's probably way more secure than you would think.
With a little bit of OSINT, you can figure out which one. One of the first things I ran when I first started my job was Ping Castle. Ran it in my internal network at work and watched everything turn red and damn near had a heart attack. It's fixed. And this was before I was certified for anything. Didn't have PJPT, PNPT, nothing. I just like cybersecurity.
That's good too, because it's not like you're a pen tester and then you get a week or two or whatever to like look at everything and then nothing gets done. Like you're there, you scan everything and then you know it gets fixed. You can fix it.
Yeah. And it depends on organizations. Like I've worked for bigger organizations where everything's compartmentalized. Like the network team is their own thing, and doesn't give access to things. So you find something. For instance, I work for a different school district. That's the second largest school district in my state, and I would tell the network team, "Hey, this is the issue. I know this is the issue. Can you please fix it?" And a week later, they'd come back and be like, "Hey, we're investigating your problem. It looks like it's this issue." Yeah, I know. I told you. Fix it. Whereas now, I work for a much smaller school district. I do everything. If I find a problem, I'm the one. But I'm also the guy that people call, can't figure out how to turn the computer on. I'm pressing the power button. That's the monitor.
That's one thing I would never do, I don't think, is fix printers.
Yeah, I leave that to my coworker. I set up the print server, said it should work. If he needs help with the print server, I'll help him with that. Printers themselves and following them.
Yeah, I came across a job way early on, like shortly after I got my A+, that was like just driving around and fixing printers. And I was like, nope. Can't do it.
And I work with a bunch of elementary school teachers who want to print a single page, each letter on a single page for 26 of their or 36 of their students. Send it to the color printer. It's black and white. They wonder why that poor little color printer doesn't print it. Memory to print 600. And I'm having fun just talking to you guys, but it's past 6 o'clock. So if there's no more questions,
Yeah, we can wrap up. I think nobody's got any questions, and DMs are always open.
yep, DMs are always open. You can slide in.
Ooh. Don't tease me. You're house hunting? I'm not exactly a closed book. Finding the company I work for should be pretty easy. Finding the government agency I work for might be a little bit more difficult.
Sean's a LinkedIn connection to everybody. It's like playing 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, 6 Degrees to Sean.
I was networking a lot, getting myself out there. Now I wake up every day and I got like 8 connection requests, and I didn't even do anything.
I'm gonna start unconnecting and reconnecting with you every day.
Hit me up with your socks.
Yeah. No, I don't want to burn my.
Definitely SAIC contractor. That's
the company, but not
pretty public information.
Can't giggle like that because he's gonna think he got it.
Maybe I want him to think he got it. There's a lot of government agencies. All right, well, let's wrap it up, I suppose.
My friend.
If you crack the code, you can feel free to DM me what government agency I work for, but we won't waste everybody's time with that. All right. first guest, last guest. It's been a pleasure, all.
My DMs are open if anybody needs help. They're there.
Have a good night.